What's good, y'all? It's HB Punch and Profit. We are going to change it up today, and we are going to tape read and paper trade. But before we get into it, and before I explain why we're doing this and starting this new playlist, like the video, comment down below, subscribe if you're new, helps the channel, helps me, provides you guys with free content. Now, let me take this off for a second, just clean up the charts a little bit. 15 minutes, and we'll get this off. Our take profit is really irrelevant at this point. We're just paper trading. I already took my live trade up here. I'll have a separate video of what I looked at earlier in the session, but right now we're paper trading. So why am I doing this? Because um, if you didn't know, I'm a boxer, and one of the things or one of the important tools to getting ready for a fight is sparring. Okay, just like paper trading is a great tool to utilize to get ready for trading in the live markets. Not the same thing, right? Not the same thing as trading in the live markets. Just like sparring is not the same thing as taking an actual fight in boxing, right? The intensity is completely different. It's a different thing, but it's a great tool that's going to get you very close to getting ready for the big game days in whatever field it may be. Just like in sparring, right? You're gonna have bigger gloves. You're gonna have headgear. You're gonna have you're gonna be in a more peaceful environment at your home gym. Uh, you're not gonna have the same equipment on as if you were in a fight. Uh, lots of differences. You're not going to have an audience and a crowd watching, adding pressure to the situation. You're not going to have judges or referees, right? Sparring, it's close, right? And it's a great way to improve your game, but it's not the same thing as an actual fight, just like paper trading. It's as close as you can get to trading in the live markets, but it's not actually trading with real money on the line. The intensity is not the same. So when we go into this, the reason why I'm creating this playlist is so we understand how we can use paper trading effectively. Because the objective isn't to go in here and just take profit, take the 1 to 1, take the 2 to 1, or just do things just to win, right? Obviously, that's what we want to do ultimately in the end when we get into the real playing field. But the objective of paper trading or the objective in sparring and in boxing is to experiment. This is the whole point of this playlist, is to experiment. We're going to experiment with stop losses. We're going to experiment with our entries. We're going to experiment with taking partials along the way. We're going to experiment with playing with different time frames. This is the objective. It's just to refine your edge, play around, try to find ways to refine your edge, to work on your weaknesses, to work on your mental emotional game, right? Just like in boxing, quite contrary to what people think, it's not this very physical, brutal sport where you just need to be angry and play rock'em sock'em robots. There's lots of thinking to it. It's more closely resembles chess. It's just a physical game of chess, right? And you need to be calm, you need to be composed, you need to be patient, set up your game, and you need to do that more than boxing than be just a physical brute. And that's very close to the psychology you need in trading. You need to be calm, you need to be composed, you need to be patient, you need to set up your game, and that's how you're going to be most effective. And you can work on those things in sparring and boxing, and you can work on those things in paper trading, getting ready for the live markets. So that's the point of paper trading. It's not necessarily to win, just like in sparring. You're not trying to go in there and beat the living shit out of your opponent. You're trying to work on certain things. Like some days, my coach will be like, hey, we're going to work on your jab. Focus on the jab. We're not trying to win and beat up your opponent. Focus on the jab. Okay? And then another day he may be like, we're going to work on your defense. Focus on your defense more today. And then another day he may say, oh, we're going to work on your cardio and conditioning. We're going to go 12 rounds. Okay, 12 4-minute rounds. So each day we're going to work on something different. Today we're just starting off with a preliminary video, okay, and we're just going to see what see where our signals are presented and what they give us, okay, in terms of a target and how we frame our trade. The next day we may work on having tighter stops. better. And next day we may work on taking partials. So each day we're going to work on a different specific thing to try and improve and refine our game. So we hit our second high right here, these equal highs. So another target hit where it looks like we're encroaching in, well, we are encroaching this 15-minute SIBI. Let's see what it looks like on a 15-minute time frame. Still 4 minutes left. So we want to see if we just wick this 15-minute SIBI or we close over it in about 4 minutes. But let's go over the trade. So that's the purpose of this playlist. We're trying to experiment and refine our game, to work on some of our weaknesses, to work on the mental and emotional aspect of trading. So there was a few trades I took. Like I said, unfortunately I didn't have my mic on, so probably gonna just have to scrap that. But you had this trade right here at the 1120 1140 macro. Okay, now if I bring up these black lines that I hid right here, okay, let's bold them. Let's make them 4 just so they stick out. They're apparent. Now let me make sure we're not getting ready to make a move back down. Okay, we do have 15-minute or a 1-minute BISI right here. We need to monitor that. I would say if there's going to be a move, it's probably going to be a 1220, 1240. We'll see. See if this BISI gets inverted. But coming back down here, right? I had this marked up, but we'll focus on this move to the upside. We come down and we close over this rectangle box right here. Okay, where you see the two black lines, two bolded black lines. We come down, we close over that. I was anticipating as soon as we closed under it that if we get some sort of inversion to the upside, an advanced market structure shift, okay, we would have a move to play to the upside, a significant move. We get it. We have a bearish fair value gap right here on the 1-minute time frame, volume imbalance in between, and then we have a bullish fair value gap that overlaps it right here. And trust me, it does overlap. You have to zoom in to see it. We'll do that a little bit later. And we get the advanced market structure shift at the blue line. We get the candle close above it. You could have entered there or added on there. Now where I entered, and this is where we'll clean this up so you can see the right entry. We get this nice move. Okay, so let's mark out our bearish fair value gap on the 1-minute time frame, which was right here, very tight. We'll mark that out in red. Okay, we'll make that red, red, red. Okay, then we'll mark out our 1-minute fair value gap. That was bullish. And I don't think there was a volume imbalance in there. Green, green, green. It does overlap, as you see, with the bearish fair value gap. Okay, so we'll take that bearish fair value gap off. I want you to see where the entry was, and it's essentially the top of the fair value gap, where the gap begins, right? We enter at where the gap begins, or stop at the swing low. Like I said, later on we'll focus on tightening our stops, see what's effective and how we can be consistent doing that with a tighter stop. But for now, I keep it at the swing low. Okay, could have added here at the blue line. Advanced market structure shift, and let's frame the trade with our risk to reward, which was very nice, little to no drawdown. And we get our 1-to-1 target right here. And I'm looking for us to take out the swing high. We hit that target. Then we're looking for a 2-to-1 if we're going to aim for more. We hit that target. Then we're looking for these equal highs right here. We hit that target. If we're still holding on, maybe we aim for this high right here, and this would present almost a 4-to-1. Does a 3-to-1? Do we get a 3-to-1? Yes, we hit a 3-to-1 as well. 3-to-1 hit right there. Okay, then our next target would be right here at this high. It's 262 points. So far, it's offered you 229 points. So, yeah, very powerful. All these black lines are indicating a higher time frame gap that we're playing off of. And we wait to close over on the 1 minute time frame, then we wait for some signal back to the upside. Let's take these black lines off. Hide. Okay, so this was a very successful trade right here. We'll change this back to orange to indicate where our inversion occurred, roughly speaking. Okay, change that to orange. And it looks like if we get on, and all this is right here is a 15-minute SIBI. We're monitoring that to see if we're more bullish now. I was anticipating that we may kind of range in here, but it looks like we may be bullish. We did get a candle close over that 15-minute SIBI. So yeah, now I would say I'm more bullish on the higher time frame, and I'd probably hold this trade. By now I probably would have gotten out. That's plenty of money for me, but like I said, we're experimenting, we're trying to improve. And let's get this. Let's see, is there a volume imbalance on this 15-minute? Yes, there is. So let's mark out this 15-minute SIBI right here. Or you know what, let's just go back down to 1 minute. 15-minute SIBI was closed on. So let's say we're going to continue to push up more. We may hit this candle body high and decide to come back down, retrace back down. But it's about to be 1220 to 1240. That's a macro we can play. Not one of my favorite macros. I would say 1250 to 110. Or I would say, what is it though? What is it? 110 to 140? Next macro, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. But this one, 1220 to 1240, not my favorite. But it could present something. But this was a very nice trade, man, so far. 229 points. My next target would be the candle body highs right here. Then after that, swing high up there. Looks like we closed. And let's get rid of this. This trade was just, it pretty much did what we needed to do. There was plenty of meat on the bone. I want to say we want to get ready to frame another trade at this point. I would be looking, let's see. Looks like you could play this 15-minute BISI right here. Volume imbalance, that's where we're not covering the wick or putting it to the wick. Depending on what this candle does, we might play the BISI in here because I think there's two volume imbalances. Yes. But for now, let's see what this 15-minute candle does. Alright, and earlier I had another trade that I framed right here. Let's clean everything up. I don't mind putting this all back up. I might close it out anyways. We only got like 15 minutes left to record. So up here was an inversion, believe it or not. It was a very tight one. Very hard to see if you didn't zoom in. Not that you need to take this trade, but it did happen, I believe, at the 11:50, 12:10 macro. I took this trade. I placed a sell stop at the advanced market structure shift. but I was confident that we were pushing down to those two black lines, that rectangular box that I had marked up, because it was a higher time frame POI, and I wanted to see us push down there before we made a move back up and close over or under that. So I did take this as a paper trade as well. Live trade, we'll go over that later, was up here, but this was another paper trade I had marked out. And let me not put the advanced market structure shift. I want you guys to see this. So in here was, believe it or not, a very tight gap right there. That was our bearish fair value gap in there. Believe it or not, there was a gap in there. Yes. I wouldn't advise most people to take that because it's kind of hard to deal with. And then here you had the bearish fair value gap. I'm sorry, this was bullish. Right here. And you see the overlap. Okay. That's where the overlap occurred. Let's get rid of that. Let's change this to orange. That indicates our inversion. Higher time frame is bearish until we hit that POI. Okay, and we also, let's lift this up a bit. We also get the advanced market structure shift at the candle body low. We get the candle close over. Now, like I said, I took a sell stop here. You put a limit order, you weren't getting tapped in. I put a sell stop here, and this was a nice trade that I marked up, but unfortunately I was muted on the mic, so I can't pull it up. Stop here, and it gave us at least a 2-1. So that's a very nice trade that played out, even if we kept our stop at the swing high. So that was the first paper trade we took today. Let's see what's going back on. Still pushing up. Like I said, I want to see what happens at this candle body high right here. So that's another target. We'll mark that up. Horizontal ray. And I'm probably going to close this out soon. I got to chill with my kids, y'all. So unfortunately, I don't like to go up and down and see what the next move is going to be. But this is a nice start to our playlist. It was a nice trade that played out. Actually, I'll probably mute it and let this recording drop down to 0. And whatever happens, happens from there. But $4,400 from this trade with little to no drawdown. Only how many points of drawdown? Let's get that magnet off. That can be annoying sometimes. Only 10 points of drawdown. And you got it here. So, very nice trade. Once again, inversion. You play off that, your entry off that, or you can play off the advanced market structure shift. You'll have to eat a little bit more drawdown, but if you don't over leverage, you'll do just fine. Stop at the swing low. Other days we do some more paper trades. We'll show you how tighter stops are, right? Maybe we'll make it a certain amount of points, like 15 points, 20 points, right? But for now, we'll keep it at the swing low. It looks like we're going to hit this candle body high. And ultimately, our target will probably be right here. We'll put it for that swing high right here. But let's see what happens. I think this is kind of got equal highs right here. We'll see what happens, and I'll close it out. This is HB Punch and Profit. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the paper trade and the new playlist I'm going to start. If you want to see me break down the live trade I took today with real money, I'll show you what happened within this range right here. That will be uploaded later. But stay safe, y'all, and trade smart. Peace.